now. I'd be doing this all mentally. I wouldn't do puzzles at home. Try to solve puzzles, do not move pieces. It's not going to help you. It's an exercise you need to train the right way. And g5, well, there's a couple of moves here, so again, you have to often treat two moves are black starting a counter-attack or black going knight h5. So I'd be looking at them one by one. I'd probably look at knight h5 first, and then I'd be thinking, well, the only obvious move here is to try to, I think, break through or go knight here. And you have to analyse each of these lines as deeply as you can. And you know, the one thing that I think Karpov did here, I'm not going to deeply go into each line here, but I think what he did, he looked at g5, he came to the conclusion that black was okay there. He looked at knight d5, he came to the conclusion that black is okay there, he could start the counter-attack. So he eliminated both of these moves from his board, he used the process of elimination, and then he couldn't see any immediate way through, so he's looking to win, but when he can't find that, he's thinking of secondary options. So then he's thinking, right, the position's so intense here, we should actually be speeding up our board, going for our opponent's king, but if they're not working, and we haven't got immediate win, we have to therefore stop our opponent's idea. Our opponent may be trying to sacrifice on c3, again, breaking through. How do we try to stop that? Rook to d3, a very nice move, just giving extra protection to that point. Black now played rook to c5, so he's trying to defend along here. And the idea is, if g5, he can take that. But Karpov finds a very nice idea. He goes g5 anyway, and the point now is that if knight to h5, well, in this position, there's a couple of possibilities. But one of the main possibilities is simply to remove the knight from the square, and we can do that by either knight to f4 or knight to g3. And I think the difference here is that black can take on c3, but then we can take back. It's all very complex. I'm not going to go to each line because there's no point. We're just trying to get away their thinking. So then I'll show you how I use this on my own next, and we'll do this block test. But rook takes g5, what white has seen, and this is what instinct, is that if he does this move, he's really sectioned off the rook and the queen. So now his intention is to break up the sort of, should we say, break up these two pieces, and he does this by playing the break move, rook b5. So it's really having that, calculation correctly is a combination and the right instinct, noticing to look at the right moves. Everyone might look at moves differently, and if you find a move that you just have to go your instinct and hope it proves over time, you can build this up from the other things about chapters I mentioned. But then in the calculation, you use the process of elimination. I mean, Karpov looks at rook b5 here. He realised that the knight can't take that, and he wants to get his knight into b5, as we discussed. And then he calculates the lines and look promising, so he played it. And there's only one move here. Black has to go up the exchange. Rook takes b5, and now knight takes b5. Now, there's a big threat here. There's a number of threats, but there's threats of taking on e7 and taking on f6. Rook e8 stops one of those, and now I'm going to give you, get ready to pause your first kind of question here. Right, you've obviously got a big attack in this position. You've stopped black getting much counterplay. Even if he takes on a2, there's only one check on a1, so you have a little bit of time that you need. You've got loads of pieces attacking. 1, 2, 3. And if you remember what I said in the last chapter, you should find the right move here. How should you look at this position? Well, like I said, you go to your instinct, and the way to build up your instinct is kind of remember those tips I gave in the last chapters. Look for the crash backward, look for the checks, look for the catches in positions like this. So you should be looking at knight takes f6. That should be your first line you calculate. Don't look at anything else. Does knight takes f6 win for you? If it does, you don't need to play anything else, because that is a forcing check. You're getting rid of the defender. So look at knight takes f6, calculate as far as you can. If you think it's going to win, then double check your calculations, maybe even triple check them, look at all possibilities, play it. You don't need to look at anything else. If you don't think that's winning, you need to look at other moves. So you need to look at other possibilities. And that's what we need to do now. So first of all, look at knight to f6, come to the conclusion whether you think it's good or not, and pause if you need to. Well, in actual fact, knight takes f6 is not a particularly great move, because if you play this move, black will take back, and now if you take on h7, you're kind of helping black because his king looks very safe, actually here, and it's running away. You're helping black escape from his cage. If you try in this position something along the lines of bringing in more reinforcements, which you should have done earlier, well, the problem now is you've given the black king queen free rein to come over something like g5, which could be before. So the general rule is, from the last chapter, if you can't see an immediate win, the crash bang, what you do, you bring in reinforcements. What piece is the only piece not doing anything? Well, your knight, queen, rook are very logical. The only piece not doing anything is a knight on e2, so you need to bring that in. And Karpov played knight to f4. And now he's building up the threats. Black played bishop to c6. He can't take on d5 because it's check and checkmate. And now what to do here? Well, again, I'm going to give you a question here. This is getting critical, and this is where you need to calculate your way to the win, get rid of pause. Should you take on f6 now, and then continue with this check? Can you take on f6 and play some other move, like knight to h5? Very interesting. Look at those one by one. Process of elimination. Knight takes f6. Does that work? If it doesn't, look at the next most aggressive line, which I say knight takes knight, pawn takes knight to h5, and look at that and give you clues. If they don't work, think of other options. What is the one thing maybe that's holding the black position together? Try to work out what it is, see if you can stop that, and look at other options, calculate them, calculate deeply as you can now, and please pause the video now. Well, let's look at those one by one. Knight takes f6 does not work. Because again, I hope you've spotted that one of the key things is black's queen being able to defend horizontally. And after pawn takes, well, if we take on h7, we're allowing the black king to run away. And if we go knight to h5, which is a very nice tactical idea I mentioned, and this is the kind of move you need to build up with tactical vision. Just look at the moves that go forward. Look at the moves that create threats. Always look at threats no matter how ridiculous. But here, black can survive. He can go queen to g5 check, and the queen come off. Yes, you can win the exchange, but this position is a long way from being won. And it's not what you want. You want to win the game tactically, not with this kind of move. So then you come back here, the process of elimination, you look at those moves, you start looking at other possibilities. And remember, you can't do this every move in a game of chess because you run out of time. But in chess, there are certain key moments, and you need to do it in those key moments. So you need to get used to the critical moments. And here, what is the most important thing? It's the queen. The black king's possibilities come across horizontally. So we need to stop that queen being able to do that. And the move to do that, last chance for you, pause if you need to, is the brilliant e5. And this is a tactical blocking move. It's a bit like Karpov's rook b5. It's stopping the queen coming across. And what can black do here? Well, again, you use the process of elimination. You look at all the moves one by one. What is the first move that comes into your head if black might play? You should be thinking of this before you play. Of course, the first move that comes into my mind is pawn takes e5. So I would make sure I'm winning against that move, but then I'd move on to the next possibility. Black has in this position. And then, once I've done all that, I've double checked my calculations, and then I would play with confidence. So, for example, pawn takes e5 doesn't work. You should be able to calculate here that we can take an f6, and now the key difference is knight to h5 is a beautiful move, forces checkmate, because the queen on a5 is blocked by the pawn. And if the knight is taken, rotate up the g file, we can checkmate on g7. There's nothing to be done. So after e5, that's the first line. The next line, maybe you look at bishop takes b5, which is what was played by Fortunately, but here Karpov has a force win. You should be able to work out the rest now. It's reasonably straightforward. Pawn takes f6, pawn takes, and now we can take on h7. Why is this different? Because we have actually also now opened up the e line by playing this beautiful pawn sacrifice. And after king f8, after queen h8 check, court try resign, because if you saw his only possible move, king c7, leads to the loss of his queen or rook, and I'm not going to tell you how you should ever work that out. So that's the kind of thing you should be thinking. So the main thing to do, you can't calculate every moment of the game. What you need to do is build up your vision. So you need to know when to calculate. You can do that by the subtle build-ups we talked about in the last chapter. But when you do need to calculate, it's often to do with time.